every other gutter protection on the market. With leak filter patented filter technology, there's no gap, no opening, no place for debris to get in at all. And we install leak filter on your existing gutters. It's a permanent solution. You'll never have to climb a ladder to clean out your gutters again. That's amazing, Chris. Tell me about the process. Simple and easy. Just give us a call, set up an appointment. We'll come out, give you a free gut inspection. If they're sagging, we'll repair them. If they're broken, we'll replace them. If they're in good shape, our local team will install leak filter in as little as a few hours. Wow. And I understand you guys have a lifetime no flaws guarantee. We do. It's actually a lifetime transferable no flaws guarantee. That's peace of mind and then some. So how do people sign up? Schedule your free inspection. Call 833 Leak Filter today. Our agents are standing by. Or visit leakfilter.com.
A Chewy order is on the way for Turner, whose energy makes mom grow good round. So she orders Purina Pro Plan on Chewy with the exceptional nutrition to keep Turner turning. For life with pets, there's Chewy with Purina Pro Plan.
Good night.
There are many qualities so delicious.
What's up, Lone Wrench Garage? Well, at least I don't have you making fun of me. I don't like these other people. What are you up to? What are you working on? Or what were you working on? Yeah, I sometimes do this every once in a while. I try and stay out of the way of the riffraff. So that way I can do without, the stress. Because I got a lot of people don't like me and they like to make fun of me. So because they don't understand me. So just try and sneak in here and get a little bit in on time, have a couple of people say hi and that's about it. Normally I'm not even up this late.
Dangerous. Right now, you're worse than the enemy. Dangerous and foolish. You may not like the guys flying with you. They may not like you. Side of you.
Okay, sounds like something productive. That's good. I might wind up going over to the 57 tomorrow, and I want to try and move the distributor for the from the spot where it's at because it won't turn any more towards the driver's side, and maybe run it to the passenger side and see if it runs any better. You know, if it does, then I'll get another fuel pump because the one that's on there is not, once again, not working for the car. And get another one on there and hopefully run it. Cars got to be able to drive sometime sooner or later. It just can't keep cranking for a little bit and that's it. Maybe I'll check the valves and see if any of them are loose either. Because sometimes they back off, you know, or sometimes they need another adjustment. But I did two adjustments to them already, like the zero lash and then the half a turn preload. But who knows? Could have a collapsed lifter or something like that. It may need adjustment again. Usually, if it's got a collapsed lifter, you replace the lifter. Yeah, I'll probably check in for your video tomorrow. See how they made out. I just caught one of the videos of me sleeping during a live. People act like that's an ultimate sin. I'm like, well, I actually saw somebody else, two other people today, doing a live stream, and they're both sleeping and snoring like they're sawing wood. That's funny as hell. I wonder why they don't make fun of people like that. Yeah, pinpoint me. Yeah, I thought they were going to do this Top Gun Maverick, but they're doing the original Top Gun. So, uh oh. Yeah, you want to make sure you got the suspension problems all figured out. It's like me with the 57. Every time I have to move that idler arm out of the way, I always got to make sure that damn thing is tightened down because that can be the difference between your wheel going straight or your wheel going to the side. You know, then wash. There it goes. Stall. If that works tomorrow, then I'll get another fuel pump because the arm that actually goes to the rod, I don't think it's making contact with it because I think the for the fuel pump is too small. So the original fuel pump actually has a wider arm for that rod. So I already got the engine oil changed out. I already have everything else done in there. The only thing that's left is the fuel line and the brake line. That's it. Yeah. I guess it's that time of night where everybody's sleeping. Come on, everybody, go live so I can see you snoring. Month of Madness. Oh, God. Yeah. Hey, maybe I could do one of my favorite things and sit in a chair here and snore. Craziness. Nash. Fatty liver disease. Do you have fatty liver disease? Or is it Nash? Wasn't Nash the name of a car? Nash Metropolitan? Do you? Yeah, let's watch a commercial. Really? You think so? Looks like liverwurst for dogs. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. I can't really turn this down because I can't find my TV remote. Turn it this way. Boy, that was. Let's see. Try to bring this over here. Don't let the jet take over. After Nutrit. Wow. Sometimes this is it, folks. Well, depends on how bloated I feel. I feel really bloated. Uh, uh. How you doing? Yeah, I got one left. Good night. Down to 0. It's called a sleeping live stream. If I hear you say something, I'll respond. Oh, now that's 10, 18. Hey now, what's going on? Anybody in here just passing through? If you're staying in here, let me know. Say something. If not, well, then I guess you're moving to the next one. So we're gonna try the 57 again tomorrow. Or later today. I think it is. I went down to 65. Back to sleep. Hey, what's going on? I gotta see what the name is, cause screen on my phone is cracked all over the place. What's up, Tessa? How are you? Good. Here's the time of night where my hair looks kind of like grungy, because you comb it when you get up in the morning, at night. Now I look like a bald man. Man, now I look like I got a mop on my head, you know. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna try and get back over to the 57 and turn the distributor the other way and see if I can't get the car running. Not bad, not bad. How was yours? It was another dreary day today. Well, yesterday. So hopefully today will be better. That's what everybody keeps telling me. So I'd show you the car on a green screen, but I don't know how to turn it off. That's a problem. So tomorrow's gist is to turn the distributor back towards the passenger side a little bit by a little bit and see if that actually makes the car run better. I actually had uh, I want to say water jacket leak in the engine. So a little bit of antifreeze was leaking out of the radiator going into the oil pan. So now I got the intake tightened down and it has new oil in it. So we'll see if it runs any better. That'll be the last car I ever work on. 1957 Chevy Bel Air. Because I'm getting to have too many physical problems, which prevents me from doing the stuff I want to do now. I bought the car, what was it, almost 4 years now. And I've been doing everything to it. I did, made a new headline for it, uh, metal fabrication, body work, primer paint, and made the door panels for it. Now I gotta recover the seats. And I gotta make some kickboards for underneath the dash. Let's see. Then I gotta do the brake work for the car front and rear. And then I gotta do fuel ones. That's it. But we got one major dilemma right now where it's not drawing any gas from the pump to the carburetor. So I'm thinking it's the arm that comes off of the pump and goes to the rod. It may not be wide enough to cover the rod itself. It may be bypassing it. I figure that later. I figure that out. I'll figure that out later today.
Get back in the saddle. Okay. Now I met a few days. No, it just might not make it back.
I did everything in that car. I did the heck they call that rod bands. Well, you're female, right, Tessa? 12:37 here. Yeah, you don't know much about cars, right? So if I say rod bearings, do you know what that is? Do you know what head gaskets are? Do you know what a timing chain is? Say, there you go. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here wasting my time talking out of my ass, if you know what I mean. Oh, you do? You ever work on that stuff or no? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's on an. This is on an engine that's 69 years old. In other words, it's older than I am. And it's the first time I've ever actually went that deep in an engine in order to try and fix it. Now, I did a lot of things that weren't right itself. I did a lot of things that were incorrect, but somehow I managed to get the engine to run. And up until I put new oil in it, it was running okay. I did a valve adjustment, and then because the leak down from the water jacket, the antifreeze getting into the oil pan, I figured, well, change the oil, put new oil in it once again. So like the sixth time I've done it, and see if it runs any better. Well, it runs worse. So I'm thinking maybe the distributor is a bit out of whack. Trial and error with a car like that, especially when you haven't done that far in depth on an engine. I worked on a timing chain before on a car. I did an oil pump, fuel pump, stuff like that. Minor stuff, lifters, but nothing, to that extreme. Rod bearings, valves, rings, you know, head gaskets, and intake manifold gaskets, sludge removal. Just a lot of mess. You would think that would have that kind of nest in it with only 61,000 miles on it, you know? But then again, back then, they really didn't have the detergent oil. So, you know, you got a lot of sludge buildup because the engines actually burned a lot of oil. And I don't think that car actually even had oil seals. Because when I took it apart, there was nothing on it. Yeah. Uh, I just wanted the engine thing to be done. I don't want to have to go out and buy another car, you know, in order to replace this one. I want this to run first. 3, 4 years, I could care less. There are people out there that take a '57 Chevy and they take 10 years to restore the car. You know, I'm working on the car by myself. Nobody else is giving me any help. You know, as far as being there, you know, helping me put parts on, except for the guy that actually owns the house of the car's back. Fuck that now. So, but don't forget to like and subscribe to Tessa because if you want to see the car tomorrow or later today, I'll be going live and doing that at that time. So, turquoise car with a black top. The engine in it is the original, so is the transmission. The only thing that took off that car was all the cosmetic parts. You know, they left the drivetrain in it. That good movie, Top Gun. You ever seen it? All right, you have a good day. Later, Tater. What's up? Well, it ain't. It is not going to go any more to the driver's side because there's a nice chunk of the intake manifold sitting there. So the vacuum advance is not going to go any further than where it is. So it's probably too far advanced. Rob from Rob's Rods, he told me, he said the reason why it was running better is because it actually had oil and antifreeze mixed together. So I guess the antifreeze and the oil expand and, you know, smoothing things out, but you can't run it like that because then you just rust everything out internally. So I drained the oil and put new oil in it, and after I did so, it started running like crap. So I don't know. Later, Rob is a mechanic. I'm thinking he's gonna know what he's talking about, buddy. Says antifreeze and oil expands together. So in other words, it'll fill in whatever things are not getting the proper lubrication, and maybe even though it's not getting the right lubrication, it may be just filling up the thing so that way it doesn't heat up. You know, because even though the antifreeze and the oil are mixed together, that's what gives you the whitey, the milky chocolate look when it's mixed together. Um, I know, but I'm just telling you, like don't kill the messenger. Rob is a mechanic too. Rob from Rob's Rod. You know who I'm talking about. He does a live every Tuesday. He's been in the garage working on cars himself too. So maybe not that old, but well, that's why I had to drain the oil out because the antifreeze had, I think the intake manifold was loose and there was drip down or run down from the intake water jacket. About in his 30s or 40s. I said 40s. He's got a brother. No, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't actually. It was really dark. But the antifreeze had to go somewhere. If it didn't go in the pan, then it went on the floor on the passenger side from the heater core. Can't tell these things, you know. I'm not there every day, so I don't see the car with the cover off of it, and that crap. Right? I just feel bad for not running with it, having any water in it. Oh no, it was really dark. I actually have video footage of it. When it was raining. I had my friend there, Larry, who was helping me out. We still got to get back to the fuel pump because it's not working properly either. The arm is not big enough to cover the rod that's coming out. That's not what I had. I had dark brown oil, but it was looking milky on the dipstick. You know, a little bit, and it wasn't really past full either. Come to think of it, I think it's just too paranoid, man. I'm afraid something else is going wrong with the car, because I'm always working on it. And I had people sitting there arguing with me, uh, you know, about compression, for the car. Like, well, you don't need oil because they're all arguing with me about the oil in the engine. Like, I remember how many times my father told my mother, make sure you watch the oil light. If it goes on, pull over and check the oil, and if it's low, put some more in it. So with the old cars, because they didn't have deter- detergency standards back then, people would just put any kind of oil in it. And a lot of the cars will burn that stuff. So I don't remember what I'm getting to with the point. Um, but yeah, the oil in that time period, because people didn't change it frequent enough. would cause the engine to sludge or turn into sludge because it just keeps running. You know, and when you change it, like when it needs to be changed. What I'm saying is that the engine doesn't need any engine oil. Those internal parts that turn and everything, they'll just keep going without the oil. You know, that's how idiotic some people think. You know, that's how things work. So now I'm just gonna tell you, you don't need engine oil in the engine. You can run it with antifreeze, or why don't you just run Marlboro Mystery oil in it? You do fine with that. No, because I'm determined to learn it myself. The last thing I do would want to learn something. I already got the car running, so it's just a matter now of tweaking it. Then I got to do the brake lines, and then I got to do the fuel lines. That's it. Nothing else. I'm an Aries. I'm I'm stubborn. I don't give up so easily. Yeah, I don't know. The exhaust has got to be tightened down too. I think that's why it's backfiring. Because getting air from the area where the exhaust manifold and the pipe is connected, and when it builds up in the gas, causes a loud, like somebody shooting out a gun, backfire. So the exhaust pipes are not tight. They are not tightened to the exhaust manifold. They're still loose. Oh, that's because I got my finger on the speaker. Um, yeah, it's because of a piece of crap phone. That's why. Hmm. I look at it this way too. The other thing is, the engine hasn't had any real run time. You know what I mean? So there's no wear point. So I consider it to be like trial and error. That means I still got time to do something right. Yeah, I had to finger over the microphone. I just said that. Didn't you hear me? Well, I don't think it'd be that much wear, man. Cars go like a lot further than that before they show any indication of breakdown. You know, that's like everybody thought I had a knock. They kept saying, "Oh, you got an engine knock. You got an engine knock. You got an engine knock." Don't hear the engine knock anymore, do you? That's gone. Well, I'm not going to even say that because I'm not going to go there. It doesn't make any sense to. Because the thing is, if something was put together wrong, it wouldn't be running right now. It wouldn't even be turning over. And if I started it and revved it, I blow right through the pan. That's not happening either. Already been there and done that.
treating gets out of hand. Some of you have to be hard idiot. You have a crisis situation. Hi, Iron. Go. Calling with bullpen. Maverick. Sir. Maverick, I get the ring when you get this ship.
Are you gonna tell me the engine doesn't need oil now too? In other words, the engine doesn't need oil because it doesn't need to remove heat away from heating up metal parts inside the engine, right? I just want to see where people's minds are because they're trying to tell me that that has nothing to do with compression. It has plenty to do with compression because if you don't have engine oil in your engine seizes. Those internal engine parts are not going to move without engine oil. And if they do, they're only going to run for a little bit before it does throw a rod through the pan. Well, that's what people are saying to me. They're telling me, I don't know what I'm talking. Everything I say, I'm talking them out of my ass. Nobody's got a fucking clue as to what the hell I'm saying. They're all clueless. Either that or they're acting really stupid, one or the other. The less oil you have, the less oil you have in an engine, the less chance you're going to have of those internal engine parts moving in order to move those pistons up and down. Understand what I'm saying? Without that engine oil, these pistons are not going to move because they're going to seize and you're going to have no compression. That's the point that I'm making. You can't argue with that. A seized engine is a no good engine, period. No compression at all. That's what you get. I didn't realize I have to freaking make a blueprint in order to make somebody understand what the hell I'm talking about. That they're that damn dense upstairs not to understand that. But yeah, I'm the stupid one here that doesn't know shit about cars. That's what I'm saying. I want to see somebody argue with me that. Because without the engine oil, your engine is not running. You're not going to have any compression because there's not going to be anything there. When your block is seized up, your pistons seize up, your rings lock up. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. That's what I'm saying. That's what these people are arguing with me about. And it just sounds so stupid the way they say it. Because they're not listening to me. They're only hearing themselves, selective hearing. No, you are, but you got to understand where I'm coming from too. Without the engine oil, there's not going to be any buildup of compression because the internal engine parts are going to heat up and lock up. That's it. You don't get more realistic than that. And you can argue with me about it all day long. I'm telling you. That's what these other people were doing. They are doing nothing but arguing with me about it all day long. Like I'm so stupid that I don't know that the engine needs oil. Oh, that ain't working. People that keep telling me about compression keep telling me you don't need engine oil to build compression. Like you do if you want those internal engine parts to keep turning. Because if you don't want them to keep turning, then you don't have to worry about compression buildup. Because there won't be any. These fucking things don't even fucking fit. No, it's not out there. I'm explaining to you the reason why you need engine oil. Without the engine oil, those internal parts are not going to keep turning and they're not going to help your engine build compression if they're not turning. Plain and simple. That's with any engine. And it didn't work. Shit. Christ.
I love being really there. That's why I love playing casual. After the game, talking about a jackpot. Thank you for providing jackpot. That's not
I
right.
don't believe this shit.
What do you reckon they'll do with the nights back on? Oh, I think. I think
Damn crap.
can I buy? Oh, man.
Why is that why I'm saying? Why is that?
So what are you waiting for? Say goodnight. You big on casino player? Download FanDuel Casino now.
Because why am I worried about what other people say? Because I want them to actually have some freaking knowledge instead of walking around like a freaking vegetable and acting like they're stupid. That's why. We can't have a civilization filled with people that are stupid. That's not going to work. Or people that are at least acting like they're stupid. Nope, not yet. No, it's got nothing to do with eugenics or anything like that. It's just got to do with people stop being so damn thick-headed and not having your ears open to somebody else when they're saying something. You're not going to run an engine without oil. That's what I'm saying. I'm not here to do mathematical equations with you. I'm just trying to spread some logical information. That's it. I don't need to know that. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Who the hell needs to know that at this hour of the morning anyway? You understand what I'm saying? I don't need to know mathematics. Well, good for you. I don't need to do any of that stuff with the car either. So there you go. It's part of the reason why the engine was never taken out of the car. It's part of the reason why there was actually seven pistons still in it when I replaced one at a time. So, and the things that I forgot to do on the car were when I was actually a lot worse off health wise. So they got left. Sorry, I didn't have to use any of that stuff for the car. The car is 69. The engine's 69 years old. I don't do that stuff. I don't do 3D printing. I don't have a 3D printer. Yeah, well, that's what I got to do anyway. I have to drop the tank to see what the hell's in that damn thing. Because apparently it's clogged up. It's not getting anything through the line. So, and the last thing I'll have to do would be the brick lines, wheel cylinders, and two hoses in the front and a bypass tube in the back. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have the tools to do that stuff. So I just put them in and make sure that they're not open in the same direction. And that comes from somebody that's actually worked on engines too. Not me, somebody else. Did you ever notice that I never opened the shop manual that I had for the car? No, on the tires in the back and the front both need to be replaced. They're no good. I'm not mad. I'm just trying to say, people are trying to tell me you don't need the engine oil is not going to build up compression. I'm like, yes, it is, because without the engine oil, the internal parts of the engine are not going to move. The heat's not going to be displaced, and it's not going to wind up sitting there keeping the parts protected against breaking down. A seized engine causes no compression at all. Then you don't have to worry about engine oil because there'll be nothing in there. Nothing will be running either. Oh, brother. Well, don't you remember they were actually trying to get cars to run off of alcohol, like vodka and shit like that? Did you ever see that on YouTube? I know, but I'm just saying, I'm not talking about you later. I'm talking about some of the other people. I'm not doing that. Yeah, that runs like what do they call it, like when you're running a compressor, the hell I call them damn things now. Pressure washer. Principles cutting off the amount of um, space that water can travel causes it to be compressed. cars of yesteryear are not supposed to have that in there. Ethanol's not good for those cars back in the 50s. They need a lead substitute.
Every 8 weeks. Vistenna is not presenting breathing problems. Serious allergic reactions may occur. Get help for swelling in your face, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Don't stop your asthma treatments without talking with your doctor. Tell your doctor if your asthma worsens or you have a parasitic infection, headache, and sore throat when you occur. Ask your doctor if Vistenna is right for you. That calls for a lot of dogs. My kind of Instacart shopper Patel was really stressed out. 3 bottles of cleaner, food, paper towels, and then a slice of cake. She went out of her way to walk through it with me, which meant a lot. Instacart definitely makes everything feel less overwhelming.
You could spend all day sorting your employees' expenses.
Now we'll just run the engine without oil. See how long it runs.
Job. They become a maestro. Yeah, maestro of coffee. So it has nothing to do with me. Just coffee. Coffee. Shall I go again? Don't. Enjoy the pleasure of masterfully crafted coffee and feel like an Italian barista at home. Just don't. I won't do my hands. Cover the box of lens now. I need that one. That is my G flat.
A Chewy order is on the way for John, who never lets go of what he loves. So Dad uses Chewy to get him everything he needs to keep loving life, one mouthful at a time, for low prices. For life with pets, there's Chewy.
Look for Duster traps 4 times more dust. More clean, even mom approves of. Making hard to reach. Now with dust busting strips, it removes even builds up dust. Look for Duster heavy duty, other money back. Hey, guys, right?
You miss coffee. There you go. Fly by the time weary coffee, buddy. Here comes. Oh yeah. Oh, I know who this is. I'll talk to you on Facebook. Fred Brown.
What's still dangerous? You can be my wingman anytime. You can be mine.
Hmm.
Even though the other side denied the incident, congratulations. Next, give you a choice of duties. Done anything yet?
The rings actually stretch out when you put them over the piston in order to get them in the slots. So it doesn't really matter what you set them to if you're supposed to set them at all. The only thing I know is you're actually supposed to have them a nice bit of distance away from each other as far as the opening is concerned. Otherwise, you get a direct rundown of whatever is in there running right down the cylinder wall. And I had already done a drip down test with Marvel's Mystery Oil. If you look in the videos early on, you'll see there's a part where the heads are off and there's Marvel Mystery Oil in every one of the cylinders. Same thing that everybody else does on their Will It Run video. No different. Well, they're not bonding up, so something must be fine with that. I love how people are sitting here trying to prove me wrong. Like, the damn thing is running for crying out loud. If it was going to lock up, it would have done a long time ago. You're supposed to put the damn rings over the pistons so they get put in the slot that they belong in. One that's got a dot on it that belongs up top. And if you put them damn rings on the pistons, you're going to stretch them out. No, they didn't break. Because if the road broke, then the car wouldn't run. Oh, what the hell is this? Jumanji? I think that's what it is. No, I'm not convinced it's Jurassic Park. Well, like I said, if they were put in wrong and they were stretched too far, the engine wouldn't run. If you're saying what you're saying that the rings would break, there's no indication that that ever happened. I think this just started. Well, like I said, the rings when they come out of the box, they're only supposed to go over the pistons and into the slots that they belong in. Like I said, the one with the dot actually goes up top, and then the other ones go in the corresponding order, and they have to be like, say for one's up here at 12, the other one's at 4, okay, and the other one's at like 9 or something like that. That's the opening of the rings. If you put them all right with one another, I shouldn't need to say anything about that. That even looks fake. The hand Freddy Krueger for the last episode before the fight with Jason. Yeah, well, I don't think so. If I were to do everything backward ass like that, from what everybody else has been telling me, I wind up with a car that's blown up already. There's a certain reason why you don't have the openings right on top of one another. One another. And the Marvel's Mystery Oil shows you that when you put that in the cylinders. Well, what to do after I put them in is a whole other ball game because I can't see what the hell's going on with it. So at that point, I'm not worried about it. What I'm worried about is when they initially go in. It's funny. It's like everything I'm saying now. Everybody in here is trying to make it sound like I did that wrong too. Oh wow! So I'll go run out and do that just the way you said, and we'll see just what the hell happens, right? I'm gonna waste my time going through all that after I've been told what to do prior to that. You know, there are people on here that are actually trying to destroy my car because they don't like the fact that I have one. And they don't like the fact that I'm able to do things they couldn't do with all their little measurement tools and everything else. And I got away with it. I managed to get the damn thing to run, and they can't accept that. Instead of being happy for what I've done, they let their ego get in the way and try and sabotage my car by telling me some bullshit crap to make me go out there and screw around with the car and screw it up.
You can get this fixed now and pay later. You can get this fixed now, pay later. And this. Get it fixed now and pay later in 4 interest-free payments at SafeLife.com.
The initial installation of the parts are set forth in books and everything else. So you don't screw it up. After it's installed, whatever happens inside there is not the person's responsibility anymore. If that's going to happen, then that happens. But there's a reason why you put them in a certain way and why you don't put them in another way. I'm not changing what I've done already. I'm sorry. I'm glad you've done what you've done on your cars. I've done what I've done in my car. May not be the right way of doing things. May have been the wrong way of doing some things, but you know what? Nevertheless, I got away with it. The car it got an engine that's 69 years old. It's not going to sound like a brand new engine. I don't care what you put in it. I didn't replace the cam, and I didn't replace the crank. I did the timing chain. I did head gaskets. I did valves, only the intake valves, because the exhaust valves have thicker stems, so they weren't bent. The only ones that were bent were the intake valves, and they were only slightly bent. That's why the valves didn't seat. And when we did the feeler gauge, well, when Larry did the feeler gauge thing on the lifters and all on the valves and all that stuff, didn't need it because they're not solid lifters, they're hydraulic. Feeler gauges would not have done any good to that. So once I got past that, I went and took Tim's advice and I loosened them all up and I tightened every one of them down to 0 lash and then gave them a half a turn preload. That was it. Well, that's going to happen anyway. One way or the other doesn't matter if I'm doing it or if somebody else is doing it. I think you people just don't like the fact that I actually got it done and the engine's running. I think that's the problem. I don't think it's got anything to do with me listening. I think it's got to do with people not listening to me. And you know, they would automatically assume that I'm wrong and try and make me look bad or try and make me look like I'm stupid. But nonetheless, the engine still runs. So if I'm not stupid, why is the damn thing running? How come it didn't blow a rod right off the beginning? The backfiring is because of the exhaust being not tightened down to the exhaust manifold. That's why. Once you get a build up of gas and it doesn't burn off, it explodes. And that's where you get the gunfire sounding like a backfire, but from a gun. No, I don't care. The car's done as far as the engine goes. The only thing I may go back to do is, like I said, adjust the distributor and take the valve covers off and see if there's any play in the rocker arms. That's it. If there's not, then I did fine. Then the 4 screws go back in, the valve covers get left alone. And then, like I said, the vacuum advance is not going to go any further than where it is. There's a part in the making of the intake manifold that the vacuum advance can't go past. Once you get to that point, you have to start turning it the other way. Yeah, once I get it to run off of gas other than in the carburetor, yeah. I'm not going to do with the gas in the carburetor, because it get the loaded up with gas and get a backfire. Once it draws gas from the tank, then I'll do it. I have 6 of them. Once I get it to run off a gas can or something, then I'll do the timing light. There's no reason to do it beforehand because it's not running long enough to get it timed. Timing's got to be close because if it wasn't close, it wouldn't have started up. Uh, yeah, no. That's the problem we're having with the fuel pumps because the original fuel pump actually has the arm long enough to reach the rod that's coming off the cam, but the new one is not wide enough to even cover the rod that's coming from the cam. No, it's not bad pumps. They're defective because the parts are not the right ones in order to do the job that it needs to do. The arm on the newest pump is too small. I don't think it's even covering the rod that's coming off the cam. I think it's just bypassing it altogether. And I was actually going to take the armature off the original pump and put that on the new pump because then at least I would know that that's actually big enough. The new pump is not even C-clamped. It's actually just glued. There's a rod that's going through the hole to hold the armature in place, but it's only glued to where it is. It's not C-clamped. And if it was C-clamped, that'll be a lot sturdier than without it. Because you don't know until you try and install it. there's a backing plate before the fuel pump, and the rod actually got stuck on that backing plate. So I had to remove the backing plate, and you can't see down there worth a shit because there's no room to see anything. You can't even get your damn hands in there. You only realize the armor's not big enough after the fact. I looked at it beforehand, but I figured, well, maybe then there's something I don't. Yeah, well, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Ah.
That was nasty, Wes. Yeah, well, it was that now. Let's stop it.
Can't do it stuff. But Lowe's knows awards members save more. And now, during Member Week at Lowe's, all rewards members can save up to 40% with big deals on select products and home essentials. Join for free and save.
Home on the comfort line. Bombers and slippers, slides, and comfy shoes. And with every purchase, one is donated. Press one for comfort, two for cozy, three for great gifts. Bombers. Visit bombers.com and get 20% off your first order. Too obvious to be coincidence. Bring more confidence to this master at University of Team.
Sorry, Don. Everybody knows that language. This John functions differently. It's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Always knows his body weight. He's an name like that.
Okay, I'm back.
Let's roll this.
Yeah. Sometimes they make parts that'll do the job, and sometimes they come up a little short. So. Everything on the new pump is almost identical to the old original pump. Except they put it together a lot cheaper. than they did original.
Help bring them. Your future starts here. Download the Spells app and start building your credit today.
Why don't you speak up as smart that? I need help with this.
All right, well, it's going on 2 in the morning. I'm getting the hell off of here. Otherwise, I'll never get up in the morning. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I definitely think the distributor's got to go back the other way. I think it's too far advanced. That might be the reason why it's backfiring at the exhaust too, and sounding like a gun shooting off. So we'll see tomorrow, later today. Yeah, I know. See what happens when I move the distributor. If it runs better, then I'll get another fuel pump. And if the fuel pump does the job, then well, hell, I'll make sure it has a filter on before, try and draw in a gas out of the tank. And if it's not drawing in a gas out of the tank, then I'm going to drop the tank. Get it cleaned out and put it back up, and hopefully that'll be an end of that. Or I may have to get another tank. All depends. All right, later. Have a good evening. Get some sleep.